This is Alexia Bolin with Cola Daily, and I am here with the owner of the Platybus, Katie Wadke. Thank you so much for having us here today.
Thank you for having me. I'm excited.
And tell me a little bit about the Platybus. What is it, and how did you get it started?
Well, first of all, the Platybus is a mobile paint studio, a mobile art studio. So basically we do paint parties, but you don't have to find a location or have somebody painting inside of your home. You can just set up your party, hire us, and we'll drive out to you, and everything stays on the bus. So we've got our paint station set up, we have all of the supplies, we have art instructors, we have different packages so you can choose what experience you want to have. And we can customize things too. So if you have something creative or interesting or different in mind, I love working with people and creating new things.
And who is the Platybus intended for? Is it for kids, adults, anybody?
It's for anybody, all ages, absolutely. Kids love it. Kids get excited. It's a bus that you paint on, you know. I actually did an event a week ago where I had a bunch of kids on the bus painting, and one of the kids saw their friend like out playing outside and just was like, hold on, I'll be right back. And he just like ran off the bus, and I heard him shouting, hey, we're painting on a bus over here. You gotta get inside. And he like comes back with his friend. But it's also great for adults too. We could do like anybody who wants to do, you know, like a paint and sit, paint parties. I can just pull up into your driveway or in front of your house, and you can have your party and your food and everything going on inside, and then you take a break and come hang out with me for a couple hours or however long you want, depending on what package you choose.
And speaking of packages, what kind of projects can you do on this bus? Is it mainly geared towards painting?
Right now it's mainly geared towards painting, but I am definitely looking at expanding in the future. We're a brand new business, so just started up, so I'm kind of keeping it with the painting for now. But if you have ideas or something that you want to do differently, I'm all about like making that happen. I do have some kids packages that I haven't posted yet that are like themed parties, so I'm working on getting those finalized and getting those out. But I'm looking at like tie-dye and like hippie themed parties and space themed parties and different things that have like multiple arts and crafts and paintings going on at the same time. So it's a more full-on experience.
Yeah, that sounds awesome. And how does this work? Is it more of like you're giving a tutorial, or is it more of a freestyle? How does it work as far as people painting on this bus with you?
You can do either or. So everything's set up so you can choose the experience that you want. I can absolutely do a tutorial and walk you through a painting. Everybody paints the same thing. We go step by step. We play music. We have a good time. We get silly with it. It's not, you know, necessarily a serious thing. But you can also do what I call it like improv painting. So basically everybody gets a canvas and you can kind of choose what you want to do. I have pencils, chalk, stencils, all kinds of like little extra crafty things I can put out for people to play with. And if you have an idea in your head, I'm still here. I'm just not walking everybody through step by step.
That's great. And I guess, are you concerned about this bus getting messy, especially with little kids painting and all of that kind of stuff?
Not at all. I mean, this bus is meant to get messy. It's, you know, there's already paint splatters. You know, we just started out and we're already getting messy. Yeah, I'm not concerned about it. I think the paint splatter adds a little character and it'll be fun, and I expect messes and better on the bus than in your house, right?
Yeah, I guess you kind of have to expect it if you open up a bus art studio. And how did this idea come to your head? Because, I mean, I don't know. It's not in my head to go buy a bus for an art studio. So what made you think to do this?
Well, like I said, I was managing an event venue, and you know, COVID hit, and I lost my job, like a lot of people did. So, and I was also just spending a lot of time at home like everybody else, you know, and so I was just like sitting around like, what do I do next? Where does my life go? What's the next plan? And I don't even know exactly how it came about. It just kind of popped in my head like, Well, you know what? I do kind of know how it came about, because I was like, I could open a paint studio, I could open an art studio, I could do something from the parties, and I was like, I don't have that kind of money. I don't have money to rent a big space, or a location, a retail space, and everything that goes into that. There was no way for me to figure out how to budget that. But then I was like, well, I could maybe buy an old bus and then maybe fix it up, and I could drive to where the party needs to be, and that sounds really fun. And then it just kind of kept tumbling through in my head, and here we are.
And it's definitely unique, because if you would have opened up an art studio, a lot of people have art studios.
Mm-hmm.
Not everybody has an art bus, so
Exactly.
You're definitely unique in that category. And what about the name Platybus? How did you come up with that name?
Well, while I was trying to figure out all the details, I was just like, okay, back burner name. You don't know what the name is going to be. And then I had this memory, and it was so silly. When I was a teenager, I had, like, kids have these dreams, and that's great. Let's encourage them, but they don't always happen. Let's be real. So when I was a teenager, I was like, I'm just going to buy a bus, and I'm going to drive around, and I'm going to live on my bus, and I'm going to paint it plaid, and I'm going to call it the Platybus, because I thought that was funny. And then it just like popped in my head that was a thing that I had wanted to do when I was younger. And I was like, well, why can't this just be the Platybus? It's not exactly the same dream, but dreams grow and dreams evolve, and let's connect it all back.
Yeah, that is pretty interesting that you just had this idea so many years ago. And with this bus, how many people can it accommodate?
We can do up to 16 people. I do have, some like camps and like larger groups. What they do is they rent out for 2 sessions. So you can split your group up too. If you have like a larger party, that say you have, like a party and you're expecting like 30 people, I'll come up to your house, pretend it's a house party, wherever, it can be a venue, whatever. But I come to you, you can have like half of your people come on the bus, the other half kind of walking around, drinking, eating, doing whatever you're doing, and then switch out.